All right, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are enjoying your day. Man, it has been quite some time since I've done videos in this sort of format. You know, I've been so used to just being in my small studio now and just working from there that I've kind of forgot that I used to just pace around in a circle and make videos like that. And I was feeling a little nostalgic and I don't want to completely get rid of this, so I decided I was going to make my Week 12 predictions like this. So as always, I do have my list here of the teams that are playing, and we'll just make our predictions. We'll see how this goes, you know, getting back into the mix of the pacing. But you know, yeah, like I said, week 12, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. We do have those games there. Some are not going to be fun. One could potentially be interesting. We'll just see what happens with that. But anyway, let's get right into it. So starting off tomorrow on Thanksgiving, we've got the Bears and the Lions. Oh my God. Nobody wants to watch this game. Nobody wants to watch this game. This is the game they put on Thanksgiving. Who's going to watch this game? Well, I'm going to have to watch this game because I'll probably have to recap it. But this is not a fun game to watch. The Lions are arguably the worst team in the league. And the Bears also look like an awful team as well. Like, they don't do anything good offensively. And it's probably going to be Andy Dalton because Justin Fields did get injured against my Ravens. So it's going to be Andy Dalton against who? Jared Goff, potentially? Oh, God, nobody wants to watch this. But somebody's got to win this game. And if I'm going to pick somebody, I'll take the Bears. The Lions right now just seem to be falling into despair, and I just don't trust them. I gave them a couple chances this season, but they failed me in all those games. So at this point, I'm kind of just like, yeah, it's over for them. But I'll take the Bears in this one. Next up, we've got the Raiders and the Cowboys. This one has a lot of potential. This could be an interesting game. The Cowboys need to bounce back offensively after the disappointing performance they put up against the Chiefs. Now, they had an opportunity to win that game, but they just couldn't get anything going offensively. Dak didn't look in sync. None of them looked in sync. It was just bad. So, going up against the Raiders team that's also disappointing, you know, they're coming off of a loss against the Bengals. They got to get themselves together. Otherwise, they could fall out of the playoff race because they're slowly falling. So, both of these teams know they got to get themselves together. And if I'm going to pick one, I'll take the Cowboys to bounce back after a tough loss against Kansas City. Next up, final game on Thanksgiving, Bills and the Saints. All right, so, wow, I haven't done this in a while. But, yeah, we got the Bills taking on the Saints. This will be in New Orleans. This is a crucial game for the Saints. They're starting to fall out of the playoff race as well. Other teams are catching up in the NFC. I'm looking at the Niners. I'm looking at the Eagles. They're starting to get it together. Saints really need to get a move on and start getting things in order, but you know, they're dealing with injuries as well, and just things haven't been looking good for them. So, unfortunately for the Saints, I don't think they're going to get a win here. I'm going to take the Bills. The Bills got thrashed by the Colts last week. They know they need to make up for this. They look terrible defensively. They're going to have to work some things out. They can't afford to lose a game like this because thanks to that loss, they've been bounced to second place in the AFC East, and now the Patriots are ahead of them. So Buffalo needs to get themselves together quick, and this will be the game to do so. I'm going to take the Bills to thrash the Saints. Maybe the Saints can keep it competitive, but then again, this is 2021, the year of the upsets. The Saints could very well win this game, but I'll take the Bills. Now we move on to the 1 o'clock games, and we're going to start with a really interesting one here. If you didn't know, it's AFC North week. So all the AFC North teams are going up against each other. And the one matchup that we get on the 1 o'clock time will be the Steelers taking on the Bengals in Cincinnati. Now the Bengals made up for the 2 games they previously lost before their bye week by getting a victory against the Raiders. The Steelers, however, were not able to get the win against the Chargers. However, they had a hell of a comeback in the fourth quarter against that Chargers team on Sunday Night Football, and they've also been resilient. Like, this is a team that refuses to die. The Steelers are finding ways to win football games in some of the most impressive fashions I've seen, other than my team, but like some of the most impressive fashions I've seen in quite some time. Like, they just find ways to win because they refuse to die. They're just as resilient as the Ravens in some cases because they were missing several plays in that game too, especially on the defensive side. But yeah, in this matchup, I feel the Bengals are the better team, but I'm going to take the Steelers. When you see a team that just finds ways to win no matter what the situation is, That's a dangerous team to look out for, and that's a team you're going to want to pick. I'm going to take the Steelers in this one. The Bengals definitely did set a tone in winning that first matchup, so the Steelers will be focused and zoned in on winning this game. So I'm going to take the Steelers in this one. Next up, we've got the Panthers against the Dolphins. I'm going to take the Panthers. Cam Newton had his great return to Carolina against Washington, and he played great. He played really good in that game. Carolina, unfortunately, was not able to get the win for them. I was happy because Washington got the win. But, yeah, they weren't able to get the win there, so they're going to look to get this win here because Cam, they're going to bounce back from that. Cam is going to play great again, going up against a Dolphins team that, honestly, we don't know what to make of them. It seems like they're heading towards the lottery. We'll see how that works out for them. But I'm going to take the Panthers. Panthers are still in the fight. They could still potentially make the playoffs. And we'll just see how that goes for the most part. So I'm going to take the Panthers, and Cam's going to ball out in this game. Next up, we've got the Eagles taking on the Giants, an NFC East matchup here. I'm going to take the Eagles. Eagles are starting to get it going. They're starting to roll. Offensively, they're starting to put it together. Defensively, it's starting to work out. They're getting a little bit healthier, and they've been starting to put games together. I just like what I'm seeing from the Eagles right now. Jalen Hurts has been slowly putting it together. The offense is starting to get a little bit more cohesive, and I just like what I'm seeing from them. So I'll take the Eagles. Meanwhile, the Giants, what they displayed on Monday Night Football. I know they just recently fired Jason Garrett, but I don't think all their problems are automatically going to be solved in just a few short days, and all of a sudden they'll be able to just ball out offensively. But we'll see. I'll take the Eagles, though. Next up, we've got the Titans versus the Patriots. Ooh. Right now, the Titans are 8-3. The Patriots are 7-4. I believe if the Patriots win this, they may actually elevate themselves to the number 1 seed in the AFC. I do not know how the whole situation mixes up. Maybe it's a situation where Baltimore wins on Sunday night and the Titans lose. Baltimore gets the number 1 seed. But either way, this is going to mean a lot in the long run. I'm going to take the Patriots in this game. This is going to be in Foxborough, and the Patriots have been a team that's been rolling over the last several games. They've been winning games, and they've been looking nice. The one thing you want to have of a football team that may not be the most talented is consistency. As long as you got players consistently doing their job, you're going to win games in this league. And that's what the Patriots are doing. Now, Bill Belichick's not done yet. Everyone was writing off Belichick's coaching. And once again, it's showing up. He just needed time. And clearly, they've gotten the time to make those improvements. They're looking great. They're looking great defensively, offensively. They're doing just enough to get the job done. I'm just going to take them. And the Titans right now, a little bit inconsistent, not exactly looking the best. They just lost to the Texans. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this offense. Like I said, I don't trust the Titans offense without Derrick Henry. So we'll see what happens here. Next up, we've got the Falcons taking on the Jaguars. Yeah, I don't like anything I'm seeing from Jacksonville right now. I don't really trust them that much. There's some pieces on the defense that are nice, but I just don't trust them right now. And again, it's not like I trust the Falcons, but the Falcons are at least competent on offense. And they got talent there. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Falcons in this one. I'm going to take the Falcons. And that's really all I got to say. I don't trust the Jags enough to pick them. Maybe they pull off the upset, but I'm going to stick with the Falcons. Next up, we've got the Bucs taking on the Colts. This is in Indianapolis. This is a tough game. This is going to be a tough game. Bucs getting themselves together. They lost the last couple games, got themselves together, destroyed the Giants on Monday Night Football. They're heading on the road, going up against a Colts team that's won 5 of the last 6 games. They've been very cohesive. They just came off of destroying the Buffalo Bills. This Colts team is playing great football. Jonathan Taylor looks like the MVP. What he did against the Bills, 5 touchdowns. My God. Like I said, way back before this beginning of the season, I told y'all, if the Colts are healthy, they are a playoff team. And right now, they're looking like a playoff team. So I'm going to take the Colts to win this game at home. Next, we've got the Jets taking on the Texans. I'm not wasting time. I don't like anything I'm seeing from the Jets. I believe Zach Wilson might get the start. I don't know because Mike White and Flacco are both out. They've been put on the reserve list. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Texans. I believe in Tyrod Taylor to get the job done. So, not much to say there, but I'm going to go with the Texans. Next up, we've got the Chargers taking on the Broncos in an AFC West matchup. Broncos know they got to get this win as well because they are really falling behind in their own division. And the Chargers are coming off of a nice win against the Steelers. They're trying to keep up with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Chargers. That win against the Steelers was nice. Offense, they were getting themselves together. So I'm going to take the Chargers, and we'll see where we go with this. Next up, we've got the Vikings taking on the Niners. Both these teams got some nice wins this week, and they're looking very cohesive. Both of them are fighting for a playoff spot, trying to get themselves together. This can go either way, honestly. But you know what? The Niners at home. I don't know what I'm getting from the Vikings week to week. If I was going to get the Vikings, the same Vikings team we saw against the Packers last week, yeah, I would take the Vikings. But I don't know what I'm going to get from them week to week. Meanwhile, the Niners have been getting consistent. They've been getting very consistent. I like what I'm seeing from them. I'm going to take the Niners at home. Next up, we've got the Rams taking on the Packers. My two teams at the top for coming out of the NFC. I believe either the Rams or the Packers are coming out of the NFC this season. So these two teams are going to go head-to-head, and they're going to battle it out, and we'll see what happens. This could ultimately determine how playoff seedings are going to be towards the end of the year, and we'll see how that goes. But, the Rams coming off of an embarrassing loss against the Niners. Meanwhile, the Packers suffered a tough loss against the Vikings. So both of them lost against divisional rivals. They're both looking to bounce back. Aaron Rodgers was great in his game against the Vikings. So you know what? I'm going to take the Packers. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to take the Packers. Both these teams overall on the season have been playing well. Both the quarterbacks have been playing well. But I'm going to take the Packers because I believe in Aaron Rodgers more than I believe in Matthew Stafford. And right now the Rams are starting to concern me. Next up, we've got the Sunday Night Football matchup. AFC North battle. The Cleveland Browns are heading to M&T Bank Stadium to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson most likely will play in that game. He did practice today. He seems to be better, and he believes he will be playing on Sunday. As for Baker, I do not believe he practiced today, so I'm not sure if he's going to be available for that game. However, knowing Baker, if he's able to play, he'll play. Now, for this game, I'm picking the Ravens, especially getting Lamar back and getting several players, because you're going to get a good chunk of players coming back because they didn't participate in the Bears game. You're going to get a bunch of players back. Lamar coming back a little bit more rejuvenated after dealing with that sickness. Yeah, Lamar's going to be ready. We're wearing all black. We're going to win the game. We're going to win the game. Now, hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me, because I know Browns fans like to definitely hold people to their word. But yeah, I got confidence in my team. I think it's going to be a tough game. Both these teams are dealing with injuries, so I'm not going to sit there and say injury would be an excuse, because both these teams are heavily injured. But I'm going to just pick the Ravens because I believe in my team. They put up somewhat of an impressive, not even that much, but somewhat of an impressive defensive game against the Bears. And then, at the same time, to be resilient enough to find a way to win on the road against the Bears without your starting quarterback, that means something. So I'm going to take the Ravens. I believe in my team, and I believe they will win that game and go to 8-3. And to finish it off, we've got Monday Night Football. We got the Seahawks taking on Washington. Seahawks are just falling down the creek. They're pretty much done. Meanwhile, Washington has put together a nice couple of games. They've won their last two games in some interesting fashion, managed to take down the Bucs. Then they just beat Carolina on Sunday. So Washington's trying to make a comeback here too, and I like what I saw in those two games, especially what I saw from Taylor Heineke. However, I'm going to wait. They have to win this game before I can say what I want to say about Washington. But until then, I ain't going to say nothing. I'm taking Washington in this game. I do not trust Seattle right now. I don't know what's going on with them offensively. Defense is too inconsistent. I just don't like Seattle right now. So I'm going to take Washington for this game. And with that being said, those are all my picks for Week 12. Let's see what happens. It all kicks off tomorrow for Thanksgiving. Should be interesting. Can't wait to see it all go down. And with that being said, that is all I got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace!